This is one of the biggest and most popular new home communities in Overland Park, and it is almost sold out, which means this might be one of the last videos we do here. But whether you're watching this year or years into the future, if you stick around, we are also going to break down a new wave of new home communities coming online in Overland Park at every style, price point, location, etc. First, we've got the Brentwood by J.S. Robinson Fine Homes. It is 5 bedrooms, 4.5 bathrooms, 45 square feet. This is a 1.5 story up, which means you have the master on the main, secondary bedrooms upstairs. Huge corner lot. It's over 1/3 of an acre, and it's priced currently at $1.538 $290. Now we've got to start with the elevation, the exterior of the home, because I haven't mentioned this yet. This is in Terrybrook Farms. In this section of the neighborhood it's located in, you've got 4-side stucco, architectural shingles on the roof, and what's really nice, the size of this lot, it can accommodate this split 2+1 car garage. We're going to take you inside of both of them. The garage entry, the mudroom, is really, really big, super nice. But what stands out to me is how sharp the black windows look against that lighter stucco color. And then of course, you've got all of this stone across the front of the house, the mix of mulch with a little bit of landscaping rocks. And finally, you get to the front entry, which has these beautiful French doors with the decorative glass and a ton of outdoor seating space. And as we step inside, this is the line of sight you'll get. Notice you've got these soaring 2-story ceilings that are vaulted. The catwalk, which we'll show you in just a second. A beautiful kitchen, huge pantry. It checks all of the boxes, but we will put the floor plan on the screen right here. One thing that we'll discuss, I'm just going to throw this out there now. We've toured other homes by this builder, both reverse 1.5 and 1.5 stories up, have a very similar layout. I'll show you my favorite spot in the house in just a minute. But closer to the end of the video, even though the lower level isn't finished, I will put that plan on the screen so you can see kind of what it'll look like and footage from a previous tour in which we did show a finished basement version of a similar plan to this one. But starting with the entry, you saw the outside of the huge 8-foot tall French doors. I love that you've got the transom up top, and then all the way at the top of the 2-story entry, you get another window bringing in a ton of light. But what I really love about this builder, there's a full playlist down in the description. You can see all the tours we've done of their homes, both spec homes as well as models. They have some of the most tasteful finishes that you'll find. And one example of that, it's not just the light fixture you saw up top, but you've got the millwork along the entry here. You're going to see some other examples of that as we go throughout the house. Last big part of the entry here is you've got these huge double doors. All the doors on this main level, they are 8 feet tall. It gives you a ton of storage space. And then I love that you've got the staircase that wraps around. It gives you that traditional catwalk feel, which I know a lot of you are looking for. But as we walk towards the great room here, one of my favorite things about this plan is as we show you the ceiling here, these beams are just beautiful. You've got this lighter stain color. It follows the vault of the ceiling, which is really nice to see. And then when we get to the covered patio outside, you'll see that you've got the vault out there, and they did some really neat detail on the ceiling. But we're going to spin around a little bit. We'll give you a face-on view of the fireplace here. Floor to ceiling, 2-story. It's all stone with the mortar. I love the variation and the color in that one. But a lot of this builder's plans, you will get the built-ins to the right of the fireplace. Of course, if you build, you can do quite a bit over here. Love the floating shelves, all of the lighting, and the darker enamel on those cabinets. But one thing that we toured this house before we started filming, and one thing that I've started to look at recently, because I've had some clients building, this has become a topic of conversation, is the height of where the TV would be. So Alex, if you swing over here just a little bit, you know, there are some homes where you'll walk in and like the fireplace insert is huge and the mantle's up really high and the TV, there is a conversation online about the neck angle that you're watching the TV at. This one, super comfortable. You can see that the fireplace sits pretty low. The mantle's really comfortable height. And then behind the wall art there, usually the builders go ahead, they install backing, so you don't have to go finding a stud. And then I can tell you that they do have all of the electrical hooked up there as well, which is super, super nice. But again, really tasteful finishes. And I do want to, I promised this earlier in the video, my favorite like vantage point in this house is this right here. And I will overlay a clip from another floor plan we did with this builder called the Delmar. Very, very similar. This one has a little bit more space, square footage on that side of the house, but you can see pretty much everything from there. Nice and open, but you've got a good amount of separation. And this dining space back here is huge. But we're gonna get to the kitchen next because this is one of my favorite parts of the plan, the prep kitchen. It's really, really, really big. But starting here, you've got the 2 pendant lights over the island. Island's oversized. You got a beautiful quartz top to it with a good amount of movement. Goes really well with the stone you saw in that fireplace. Black fixtures. You've got the black composite undermount sink. And then along the back, you've got all of the upgraded cafe appliances. So the slide-in gas range with the 6-burner cooktop up top. I love that you've got the stained apron on the hood here. And then of course, you've got the vertical tile backs, which is big. We've seen that in a lot of homes recently. I love that you've got the lighting on the glass cabinet uppers. And then something else that's super nice is over here, you've got the stacked microwave and second oven, extra perimeter space, and of course those cabinets going up to the ceiling. Now, one thing that really sets this plan apart from a lot of others is how much space you've got in here. So this is like a true prep kitchen area. Cabinets to the ceiling, you've got the tile backsplash, the floating shelves, you've got the sink over here, which is so nice. And then in the corner, they usually do a beverage cooler, so that's fitted for one of those. If you were to build this, like I've got a client building a similar plan, and we've talked about maybe dishwasher in here, maybe second oven. There's just so much you can do with this space. Another thing that you could do, and this is really nice to have, this is your traditional pantry, shelving with face framed trim work. And then around to the corner, you've got another prep top, but really flexible space. And you could continue that prep area if you really wanted to. But we are going to turn around. We are going to head to, we'll get the dining room and then we'll head outside. Then we'll wrap up with the mudroom before we discuss this community, the limited number of homes they have left here. So one of the things that I mentioned when I showed you like the vantage point off of the entry of this house, this is huge staging furniture. It tends to be a little bit on the smaller side. This table is actually a pretty good realistic size, but you could fit quite a bit. Look at all the room you've got around it. You've got the tall ceilings. And then something I really like is you've got this recessed hutch area over here for furniture, built-ins if you built the home or customized a little bit. And then of course you've got all of the windows. But another thing that I should mention is you've got the oversized 8-foot sliding door here. And I think we've already unlocked this. So we will go right out to the covered porch here. Now in the beginning, when we talked about the front of the house, we mentioned that this is a 4-side stucco, which is not something that you're always going to see in new home communities. A lot of times, sometimes at more luxury sections of the neighborhood, more luxury communities, this may be a community requirement. What's nice about it is the look, it's all cohesive. Normally what you'll see is your standard vertical or lap siding and mostly stucco in the front, depending on the community. So it's nice to see the 4-side stucco. Again, you've got, this is actually even taller than the one you saw inside. 2-story floor to ceiling stone fireplace. What I love about their homes, they do this in a plan called the Avila, which we've toured on the channel before. You've got this stained tongue and groove trim accent up top, which is super nice. Love that you got the vaulted ceiling, just tons of volume here. And then of course the gas fireplace. But the nice thing about this is a privacy element as well. Terrybrook Farms, we don't have many lots left here, and this creates a good visual barrier. But the other thing is as you walk around to the side of the fireplace, you'll see they've done an additional slab down here. So for like a grilling area to keep even more separation between maybe your entertainment, relaxation space, and where you might be doing a little bit of grilling. But huge lot. We'll put drone footage on the screen. If you are not looking for a corner lot, the nice thing is, because I know some people really like corner lots because you get a lot of frontage. Some people like more interior lots. They actually have 2 of these. This is one of 2. And we will put a drone clip of what that looks like on the screen. The big difference is it's the interior lot we talked about. And it's also a 4-car garage, so 2 + 2 setup. Since it's not a corner lot, you get a little bit more usable frontage without the setback you normally see. It's currently held at trim stage. It's about 120 days out once it does go under contract. They've stopped it there because there are a number of selections that are open, which means if you are interested in that one, you get to do all of the customizations that you'd like to. But coming back inside, we are going to head straight to the mudroom. Now we will put drone footage on the screen right here just to remind you of that split 2 + 1, the side entry garage setup, because the mudroom here, this is pretty neat. So you've got both of those entries. This is one garage entry. I'll put a clip on the screen of what the inside looks like really quickly. This is the other one right here. Again, I'll put a clip on the screen for you. The nice thing is that they both feed into the same spot. You get a little pocket office with the built-in desk. It's got a quartz top, the windows overlooking the front of the house. The other thing I like is the side entry. It gives you an elevated look from the curb, because the house really is pretty spread out. Inside, you've got a huge boot bench, tons of shelving above, below, the stained top, and even a little bit of the locker feel with 2 sets of hooks on the inside. And then finally, last thing in here is you have a double wide closet. Again, everything, you've got the 8-foot doors. It gives you a ton of volume. And with ceilings like you saw on the covered porch and even the great room, I think is really nice. Back here, this is counted as one of the bedrooms in the specs, but they are using it as the office. So a lot of these plans, what you'll see is they have flex rooms. The nice thing about this is it's pretty big. A lot of the times those flex rooms, they can kind of feel a little bit smaller. This, I know the camera, it's really hard to see. This is actually really, really generous size. In the corner here, we've got a walk-in closet. I'm not going to show too much of that because this is what they're using as the sales office. And then as we go around the corner, you've got space. If you were to build this plan, you could certainly do it. You could put this a full bathroom, including the shower in here. They've got it as a half bath. What I do want to highlight is that top in there. I thought that was beautiful. It looks like a leathered quartzite, but it's certainly a natural stone, which I'm a really, really big fan of the color in that one. Now, as promised, we will break down this community. It is called Terrybrook Farms in South Overland Park. Falls along what I like to refer to as the New Homes Corridor, which stretches from Olathe all the way to State Line. It's a big stretch, a corridor of all of the best new home communities that you can find in southern Johnson County. This one, it is one of the larger ones. They've got luxury amenities. I'll put drone footage on the screen for you. Swimming pool, clubhouse, an actual fitness center with a gym inside, sports core, playground. Those are a very big pull for this specific community. In addition to that, they've got multiple different price points. There are only 12 homes left across those. So they have maintenance provided villas. They also have estate size homes, everything in between. Whether you're looking for something brand new, like the one in this video, or you're looking for something that's just a few years old, you will see some options from Terrybrook all over the internet, depending on the time of year. This will be a community where you'll consistently see homes come up and become available for the foreseeable future. One of the other big pulls of the communities in this part of Overland Park is they are all in the Blue Valley School District. You've got Wolf Springs Elementary, Aubrey Bend Middle School, which is right next to Blue Valley Southwest High School. If any of this looks familiar, it's because earlier this year we toured 2 other homes in the estate section of the neighborhood. The Ellswood by Doyle Construction, which is sold, and then one of their other models, which is the Cortland Reverse by Don Julian. Both absolutely beautiful homes. And later in the video, I did promise that in case you're watching this in the future, these homes are all gone. There are a ton of other communities coming online in Overland Park that fit every different price point, style, and we'll be breaking those down here momentarily. But first, we've got the master suite. You've got this separation, good size hallway. What you'll notice, if you watch a lot of these videos, you already know this. If this is like one of the first, if you're not very familiar with new construction homes, the floor plans now, you get a huge loop around the master suite. So we'll go through master bedroom, bathroom, closet, and then finally it ends with the laundry room. But right here, you have a ton of space here. This is actually really big for a master compared to what you'll see in a lot of new construction homes. Well, again, very tasteful finishes. You've got the box vault, the modern crown molding, really nice light fixture with a gold accent. And then over here, you've got the huge windows. Of course, at this price point, it's not just the four-side stucco. You also saw the black windows on the outside. On the inside, you've got these casement windows that crank open, which gives you airflow, better airflow, and they're also the only type of window that has a weather seal all the way around, so they're more energy efficient. A couple other things that I've got to point out. Very subtle, the accent wall, but it's also very tasteful. It gives you a nice amount of texture there. And then finally, last thing is they carried the hardwoods in here. The same was true for that office. This whole main floor, you've got the engineered lighter hardwoods. French doors, they're 8 feet tall, coming into the bathroom. You saw me flip on the lights. So one switch I think we missed, but this is a pretty good size as well. This is pretty similar to what we've seen in their Del Mar, their Regency 2 plan, maybe even a little bit of the Avila we did a few weeks ago, but we'll break those down in a minute. Freestanding tub, you've got a window over large format tile on the floor, which this stuff looks really nice. If you do something like this, a little bit more cost when it comes to the labor to install this. And then of course, you've got huge dual vanity with the tower on the right side. This is a really nice blend between giving you counter space and also putting this tower in a really efficient spot where it's not like right in the middle. The other thing that I want to mention is you do have an outlet in this, and I should have mentioned this earlier, but these cabinets are very, very nice. They have a manufacturer finish on the inside. I don't know if you can get it close. It might be a little dark, but manufacturer finish on the inside, which tends to be quite a bit more durable. It looks more upscale. Typically what you'll see with a lot of builders around Kansas City is they'll be like site stained or site painted on the inside. You can tell this has a really nice look to it. And then of course you've got the shower with the Euro glass panel door and the clips on the edge. Huge bench that goes wall to wall. Perfect spot for the window where you get the light, but you also have quite a bit of privacy and of course tile surrounding. But as we head back a little bit further, last thing in here is you've got the water closet and the master closet, which this is really, really nice. Ton of space, ton of room in this plan. Like nothing feels tight. Everything, even the master closet, you feel like you've got a good amount of space. This is super efficient getting the hooks right here. Actually, we'll spin around a little bit. They put the mirror on the back of that door, which is a great use of space. And then of course around, which you can see is all of the valet rods, the pull down racks on the top shelf. Great for your seasonal wear. It's been a while since I've like demonstrated this, but it is a question we get quite a bit. These just pull down just like this. They are a little bit heavy, so if you go through the models, you kind of have to pull a little bit, but that's because there's no clothing. So once you have clothing up there, it gets a little bit easier. But these are adjustable, so you don't have to be 6'3" to reach them. You can pull those rods down a little bit. Last thing that I do want to mention is you get this dresser. This is a quartz top on it, tons of drawers, and those continue on both sides. And then of course, you have everything over there, including a little bit of bench seating. But last part of this plan, and this is also really big, is the laundry room here. You know, a lot of times going into the laundry room, you'll see a pocket door. Sometimes because they tend to be pretty tight. This plan just has a ton of space to it. Quartz top here, huge built-ins. You even have hanging space. And I love the tile you've got on the floor. Now, I'll put the floor plan for the upstairs level on the screen. One thing that I do want to say before we go up there, 3 bedrooms, they all have private bathrooms, they all have walk-in closets, super tall ceilings, and there's another laundry room up there as well. But before we do that, I do want to break down the builder. And then at the end of the video, we'll break down a lot of different new home communities in this part of Overland Park. Builder J.S. Robinson Fine Homes. This is a brilliant plan, and it's very similar to a couple others we've referenced throughout the video. The reverse 1.5 version of this we've toured, it's called the Delmar. And one of my favorite versions of that, it was in Bristol Highlands. You can see the tree line in the back and beautiful views from the inside of the house. And in that same community, we also toured the Regency 2. It was finished on all 3 levels. Here, closer to the end of this video, we talk about the lower level finish. I'll put some clips from that tour just so you can get a feel for the approximate layout you could get with something like this. And then, of course, most recently, we did the Avila model at East Village of Leawood, which was absolutely beautiful. Had a sunken patio down below, all of the bells and whistles. J.S. Robinson, they build in communities all over the Kansas City area, quite a few in Johnson County. They also build in Lockwood on the Missouri side. And you can see all of those different communities on their website, which is on the screen right here. But any questions, buying, building a new construction home in Kansas City, we go through some of the best communities, builders, floor plans every single day of the week. You never want to make big irreversible decisions with half of the information. A lot of this stuff, not all of the options can be found online, and we'd like to make sure all of that's in front of you. So feel free, give me a phone call, text message, email. We'd love to set you up for success. We're going to head upstairs. Again, the entry just feels so big. And then coming up here, you've got the hardwood landing, luxury carpet on the stairs. You can see the millwork. This is what we pointed out, very similar to what you saw, I believe, in the master and off the entry. The other thing with this plan that I should have mentioned, I will give you a shot both sides of the catwalk here, is that it has a very big loft space, which if you really like lofts, the Regency 2 would be another version of this plan where you get quite a bit of space up here as well. So as we round the corner, you can see what we're talking about. I love that they staged this to give you an idea what it looks like. The bedrooms are not quite staged, but we're still going to show them to you. You've got the box vaulted ceiling, the modern crown molding. This really is a pretty good, so there are some plans where you walk in, it says loft on the floor plan. They might even be staged as a loft, but you get up there, it's like really tight. Again, the theme of this one, you just got so much room to work with. Bedroom number 1, super tall ceiling. You got a little bit of a barn vault and window. This is facing the front of the house. Love that they installed the fan in every single one of these. You also have higher tread carpet on the floors instead of that higher pile stuff that you'll see in a lot of homes. So this is super nice. And then we'll give you a quick shot of the bathroom, shower doors installed, showers tiled, got quartz countertops, and the walk-in closet around the corner. But so we walk back through the loft, you've got the other 2 bedrooms, and I like all of the separation you get here. So going into this one, I mentioned this earlier, you have a second laundry room, so there's no bringing laundry up and down the stairs. I really like that tile. That's really, we've never seen that. We go through a lot of homes, so sometimes you watch a lot of the videos on the channel, you'll start to see tiles and countertops that we've seen in a ton of, so it's nice to see something unique that we haven't seen before. This, because the size of the home, this is over 4,000 square feet. They tend to do 2 units, so you'll have one up here, one down in the lower level. And then as I run into the cased opening there, around the corner, we've got bedroom number 2. You get both of the windows. Again, super tall, see, maybe 9.5, 10 feet tall. It's huge for a bedroom. And then this is actually one of the biggest closets once we go. Huge vanity. I think, I don't know, this some type of natural countertop, maybe marble. I don't know, but it's definitely not just your standard quartz. And then as you go straight back, I guess it could be a granite. Really nice nonetheless. Super big closet. But we'll head to our final bedroom up here, which is just straight back. This one, you've got the closet on one side, bathroom on another, so they're not connected like the other 2, but you do get quite a bit of space, the tall ceilings again, and then of course, bathroom and then the closet. Now, as promised, I will put the lower level plan on the screen. This one, it's not finished. It could be finished if you want to, but I do want to give you an idea of what that space would look like. So the clips you're seeing right now, these are from the Regency 2 from Bristol Highlands, which is another version very similar to this plan. Once you get downstairs, you've got a huge media room, wet bar straight back, billiards area. That version that you're seeing is on a walkout lot, which is why you see that exit to the backyard. But you also have an additional bedroom down there as well. Another one that you could look at is actually any of the Del Mar plans, very similar layout downstairs, but also very customizable if you do build. You could add a bedroom and convert one of those bedrooms into a gym. Just tons and tons of different options. But final part of the video, there is a brand new wave of communities coming online across Overland Park. Recently, one of those communities that we featured is called Riverstone Valley. J.S. Robinson Fine Homes, we toured their Cypress 1.5 story, which if you like this layout and you want to be somewhere around the 900s or 800s, that would be one to look at. Loft space upstairs, all the bedrooms have a private bath. You get the 2-story ceilings. Really, really nice home. Riverstone Valley, it's one of those communities coming up that has more inventory, lots, etc. Price points from the 700s all the way up to 900,000 and above. Another one right around the corner is called Woodmire. It is a tighter knit community, beautiful, beautiful lots, and they have price points going anywhere from the 800,000s all the way up to the 2 millions. Homes are around framing stage right now. They've got models coming up and they will be absolutely beautiful. Wild Horse would be another one that's around the corner. That will be a bigger community. They've got several anticipated phases. Prices will range anywhere from 900,000 all the way up to $1.5 million. A brand new middle school being built right across the street from it around Wolf Springs. I think it's called Wolf Springs Middle School. So that would be an option as well. And then that is just on this side of the highway, so west of the highway. When you go east of the highway, there are 2 other communities. If you're looking for prices as low as the 600s to 700s, all still in the Blue Valley School District, Southern Meadows is one that we've toured a number of different times. They've got several great options. And then if you're looking for more luxury, more private feel, Walnut Reserve, those are some of the most beautiful lots that you could find in the city of Overland Park. They are in the Blue Valley School District. There's a body of water on site. Those prices will go anywhere from $1 million up to $2 million. But any questions buying, building, new construction home in Kansas City? There's so many options, so many different communities coming online. Not all of those make their way online to Zillow, Redfin, Trulia, or any of the home search sites. We'd love to make sure you've got access to all of that information before you make any irreversible decisions, like what builder to hire, what lot to choose, what community to build in, or even what floor plan to build. So we'd love to get all that in front of you. Any questions, just give me a phone call, text message, email. We'd love to set you up for success. Big thank you to the builder for letting us show their homes. It's always a pleasure. Also, big thank you to the agents here at Terrybrook Farms. With that said, there are 2 things on the screen that you can watch next. This is a playlist, all of our videos we've done in Terrybrook Farms. And then this one, all of the properties we've toured of J.S. Robinson Fine Homes. So click there or here, and we'll see you on the other side.